Hey, it's Ravsav here. I've got another video that's more just rambling than it is informative. So put this one on in the background, go do whatever, listen to what I've got to say on today's topic. Today's really about a skill that is transferable whether a player is good, bad, or something in between. Let's talk about resilience, the ability to bounce back. So starting at the start, why does a trait that is so difficult to quantify or even be able to see even matter? It's the fact that this trait defines how quickly a player can get back on the horse and get to work practicing and playing. Resilience is defined as the capacity to withstand or to recover quickly from difficulties. While it's never something that can be seen through gameplay like neutral, advantage, or disadvantage, it's certainly something that can be felt through the vibes or attitudes of a player. In a Smash bracket, all but one player has to lose twice, and by definition, every player will be required to show some level of resilience in the face of the losses they face in tournaments. Here's how I've dealt with it. You ever see tweets from people who've never won a set or some ridiculously poor win rate after say 50 to 100 sets in tournaments? Yeah, that's basically been my story. I've played Smash Ultimate for upwards of 5 years with some of the worst success rates for how much I've attended. I've now lost over 500 sets and I'm still a bit away from 50 set wins. It's roughly a 10% win rate. Also, out of my 42 set wins, 30 of them have come in the last 18 months. It's a ridiculous amount of improvement. I've had long stretches without winning a single set. Recently, I had an 11 tournament stretch where I didn't bag a set win. I've had a 15 tournament stretch and several 6 to 8 tournament stretches without a win. So how do I stay motivated and keen to get back up? I don't really know if I could exactly pinpoint it, but I do know it comes from being a really resilient person. If you love something enough, you'll give it 120% to become the best version of yourself in that thing that you love. Success isn't guaranteed, but it's the thrill of the journey that keeps you invested. You do something because it's fun, and any victory is just a bonus. I play cricket because it's fun. I run because it's fun. I write because it's fun. And I play Smash because it's fun. Smash is the only one out of these hobbies where I've lacked tangible success. Does that bother me? Yeah, obviously. But it's never stopped me from chasing the chance to become good. I choose to be resilient because I want to prove to myself that I can be good at the things I find fun. It took me 7 years to get good at cricket, 6 years to get good at running, and 10 years to become good at writing. My progression has always been slow and took a lot of hard work, but my resilience and refusal to throw in the towel is why I do what I do. I don't give up, and I think this level of resilience resides in every Smash player. And in my opinion, it's far more visible in every low-level player. There are that many reasons, and perhaps even other players, that scream at you to give up. But when you get to the other side and finally get to taste victory, it's all the more sweeter. Want an example? Here's me the first time I clutched a game 5.
Also in big news, there was a pop-off in the other room. Rav says won in Game 5 against Darren Aaron.
To be resilient is to show passion and willingness to work harder, even when success isn't guaranteed. If you're not resilient, losing ties you down for longer and prevents you from chasing success. If you don't lose, you don't grow. That's what learning a hobby or skill is all about. Lose, learn, grow, and get closer to success. Passion and resilience doesn't come from nowhere, however. Inspiration comes from something you've watched or experienced. For me, players who've overcome some form of adversity speak to me. Not that it is a particularly relatable experience, but more that players who have walls to overcome to compete really just want it more. I frankly just love an underdog story. I don't play Melee, but a player's journey who speaks to me is Axe. The story of overcoming plateaus and constant walls is really inspiring. It is true resilience. I don't play Pikachu. I don't play Melee. I've never won or gotten second in anything meaningful, but I know what it feels like to feel stuck. I've lost more times without success than 98% of the Smash Ultimate player base. Axe's story of resilience en route to his Smash Summit 8 victory really speaks to the experience of how even years into your journey, success can be waiting for you, even if no one else expects it or believes in your journey. The most surprising things can be the biggest sources of inspiration and building your ethos as a player. There isn't much in common with myself and Axe, but what he did as a player speaks to what I want to achieve as a player. He makes me feel resilient. So, all this losing paid off eventually, right? Yes and no. If you're on Twitter, you know about this, but in late May there was a small tournament called RMIT Games Day 18. The event was during Dead Week, a period where all results don't count towards Victoria's rankings. Anyway, after main bracket, I'm in redemption against 3 other players: AIM, CC Lemon, and Think. I'm in a position for the first time where I can easily win my first redemption bracket. The result itself isn't too impressive when it comes against a player who I've beaten 9 times and 2 newcomers, but it meant more than that. It's representative of 5 years of hard work to finally get to a victory. I would be doing my story a disservice if I didn't mention a recent development. Shortly after Floating Point, I began working with Inkling main Flo, who's been putting in a lot of work coaching me since the middle of May. It was a big contributor to this victory, and many of my recent developments which have not gone unnoticed by the wider player base. I probably don't win this redemption bracket without him. I worked and yearned, put in the hard yards to finally get my first taste of victory. It was the first of many, and really demonstrated how resilient I've been over my 5-year journey with a game that has tested every fiber of my being. And people do notice that. It's cool when that happens. So resilience really matters, especially to me. When you lose a lot, it's all you have to fall back on. I really value perseverance even when there's no guarantee of success. It's just getting back in the batting cage and trusting that eventually you'll make it work. As I've said before, I'll keep believing in myself, and I know that at some point, I'll turn the corner. Thanks for tuning in to my fun little ramble. Hope you enjoyed it. Ravsav out.